My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, at our recent Diocesan Faith Conference, Celebrate Faith 2015, I presented our new diocesan vision, priorities, and the goals that we will be focusing on for the next several years. Understanding that some of you may not have been able to attend this great event, I wanted to share this information with you today. Shortly after arriving as your bishop here in the Diocese of Pensacola-Tallahassee about 2.5 years ago, I was immediately asked, "Bishop, what is your vision for our diocese?" I realized that before I could present a vision, I needed to come to know our diocese, the beauty of it, and its people. And so I've spent the last 2.5 years traveling around our diocese and getting to know it. This process of coming up with a vision statement for our diocese began almost a year ago when I assembled an envisioning leadership team comprised of priests, religious, deacons, and lay faithful from all over the diocese to assist me in this project. The next step in the process was to hold a series of listening sessions at various parishes throughout our diocese. In total, we had 11 listening sessions. They were both in English and in Spanish, and were well attended. They were held from March until June of last year, and they were a great help in determining what you, God's people, believe that we as a church and a diocese should be focusing on going forward. One of the questions that I asked you was, when you think about our diocese, what are 1 or 2 areas of focus that we should concentrate on during the next few years? In other words, what is it that you believe as a diocese we need to continue to grow in our faith? The 3 areas that you presented to me were very clear. It was education and formation at all different levels, vocations and evangelization, and then finally, social services and outreach to the poor among us. After much thought, work, prayer, and discernment, my envisioning leadership team and I have come up with the following vision, which is based on the information and the input that you have provided to us. The vision for our diocese tells us where we would like to be in 5 years. The vision for our diocese going forward is the church fully alive. The church fully alive. This vision statement is based on a quote from Saint Irenaeus, who said that the glory of God is man fully alive. In other words, man fully being what God created him to be. The church fully alive is a church, a diocese, a parish, a family, and an individual who is what God created them to be. To make this vision a reality, we have come up with 3 priorities which we will focus on during the next 12 to 24 months. These 3 priorities are: first, forming disciples; second, inviting others to the faith; and third, being disciples in action. One of the things that I heard most often during our listening sessions and through the online responses that we received was that there is the need for continuing and ongoing faith formation for all, from our children to our adults, so that we may continue to grow in our knowledge and love of our faith and of Jesus Christ. Another common thing that I heard during the listening sessions was that we need to invite those who have stopped practicing their Catholic faith, or those who are practicing no faith at all, to come back to church. We need to develop effective ways of inviting them to come to rediscover the beauty of our Catholic faith. And finally, you told me that we need to be the hands and the feet of Jesus Christ in our world today, reaching out to the marginalized, to the poor, and to the lost, last, and least among us. This is our call to fulfill the social mission of the Church and to live out our baptismal calling. And so, we have come up with specific goals or measurable outcomes, which we will achieve to accomplish and address each of these priorities. The first one, with regard to forming disciples, we will launch a Lay Formation Institute here in our diocese to train individuals in our faith and in pastoral care. This will be a combination of both online learning as well as in-person pastoral training. The second goal, with respect to forming disciples, is to introduce at least 3 new diocesan initiatives to support and enhance faith formation, marriage, and family life. To address the priority of inviting others to the faith, we will establish a diocesan office of evangelization, which will work with our parishes during the next couple of years to assist them in developing strategies to welcome fallen away Catholics and those who don't know the faith to come back to know the beauty of our Catholic faith. And finally, so that we may be disciples in action, again being the hands and the feet of Jesus Christ in our world today, we will convene an advocacy and justice team to enhance and promote Catholic social teaching in our parishes. Our second goal will be to build a care coordination model for efficient outreach to those in need throughout our diocese. And finally, our third goal will be to increase volunteer outreach, but to the poor and marginalized by 10% in the coming years. My brothers and sisters, the Church fully alive will be our vision for the Diocese of Pensacola-Tallahassee for the next 5 years. This vision is not mine, but it is ours together. And together we will focus on this vision, on the priorities, and the goals which we have set forth to accomplish over the next few years. Together we can build a church fully alive, a diocese fully alive, a parish that is fully alive. Together we can become a people fully alive. May God bless you.